Tactical 16 radio.
Fire in the hole!
With Silent J.
Hi, everybody. This is Silent J, and you are listening to Tactical 16 Radio. Hi. Oy, what a long fucking week. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. I'm just really tired. Anyway, this is Tactical 16 Radio, and I am Silent J. And Tactical 16 Radio is brought to you by Tactical16.com. Check out Tactical16.com for all of your veteran reading pleasures. If you don't know what Tactical 16 is, I'll tell you, okay? Tactical 16 is a website that produces books written by veteran authors. All right? That's pretty cool, huh? Anyway, what Tactical 16 does is they take books that are written by veteran authors, real veterans, and they publish them and they give them to you. Okay? So go to Tactical16.com, and what you can do is you could find a book like Love Me When I'm Gone by Rob Lewis, or Then I Cried Stories of a Mortuary NCO by Justin Jordan, Line in the Valley and Proof of Our Resolve by Chris Hernandez, and Brave Rifles by Tactical 16's founder, Eric Shaw. Okay? So if you're a fan of war books, or if you're a fan of books about the military, war, what it does to you, the life of somebody in the service, check out one of the books from Tactical 16, all right? That's Tactical16.com, Tactical, the number 16, all right? And you're listening to Tactical 16 Radio with Silent J through VetsOnMedia.com. Go to VetsOnMedia.com, and you can see a listing of all our shows. I shouldn't plug anybody because the show by the founders, Adam and James, Vets on Radio, Vets on, which can be heard at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday mornings. James plugged the show and said, oh, it's a great show. He could talk about anything from wrestling to sports to this and that, and he loves trannies. That's awesome. Great. Thanks for that plug, James. I appreciate it. I'm no longer your friend. Adam is back in the number one spot for Radio Daddy, all right? He slipped down to number 3 last week when there's only 2 of you guys. But anyway, go to VetsOnMedia.com, go to the show listings, and you can see all the shows, like that show, which is on tomorrow night, or JD's Rockin' Sports, which he's been doing 2 shows per week. Was it Tuesdays and Saturdays? They're doing the Tuesday shows basically just to wrap up each division within the NFL in this upcoming football season. So that's pretty damn cool, huh? And JD was talking some smack last night because I'm a Bills fan. So JD, wait until I'm on the show to run down the AFC East with you. I'm going to look forward to talking to you and your beloved Patriots. That's awesome. I love the Patriots. They're a winning team with everybody else's playbooks and a murderous tight end. What is there not to love about the New England Patriots? So anyway, check out JD's Rockin' Sports for all that bloated BS about football and baseball and all that other sports talk stuff. And yeah, there's the logo right behind me. All right, for VetsOnMedia.com, and then that logo over there. Yeah, okay, Tactical 16. All right, so check out Tactical16.com and VetsOnMedia.com, and also MilitaryMediaMafia.com, LoveMeWhenI'mGone.com, IronMikeMag.com. Oh, these are all a bunch of websites that are being worked on and produced by all the guys within the clique, within the group, guys like Rob and Brian and Adam and James and Eric and myself. So we all kind of got a little hand in internet entertainment or entertainment. Seeing as how I skipped over that T. But anyway, I'm going to have Grease Bastard on. Grease Bastard is the groupie of veteran internet radio and podcasting. He's going to be on in about 5-6 minutes, and we're going to discuss stuff on the show. Oh, you know what? And I forgot to do something. I'm glad I just noticed it. So bear with me. I forgot to plug in my laptop. Reach. There we go. Much better. I was wondering why the screen was getting dim. Yeah, there we go. Much better now that the screen is plugged in. So now I feel complete. I heart myself for doing a good job there. We're gonna go through a list with Grease Bastard to start off. The weekly list of feeling old. All right, I got a list of 43 things that'll actually make you feel old. It's called a filler. Okay. We're also going to talk about Anthony from the Opie and Anthony show, or the former show called Opie and Anthony. I don't know what the show's going to be about anymore. I'm a huge fan of Opie and Anthony, and I do radio and podcasting, internet radio. I had an FM show for a while, basically because of a few inspirations within radio. One, growing up when I was a little kid in Buffalo, New York, I forgot, it was Doc and McGee. Doc and McGee or something like that. I don't know. It was a morning duo on a station called 103. I think it was WPHD back when I was younger. And so I met the morning duo in summer. They were doing some stupid morning show thing. And I just remember being in awe as a little kid. I was like 5 or 6 years old. I'm like, these people get paid to talk on a microphone, and that's what I want to do. And that's what I've wanted to do my whole life. And just this weird thing about joining the military 14 years ago kind of sidetracks that. But over the last 5 years, I've been doing one aspect of radio or the other, either internet radio or FM radio or podcasting. So that's why I'm here. And Opie and Anthony were part of the way I'm was inspired to do a show. There was a couple others, and it was kind of weird. Last week he was fired, Anthony from O&A, over some stuff he said in a tweet rampage, I guess you want to call it. I guess he got attacked in Times Square by somebody, and he tweeted afterwards, and he called the individual savage and a monster. I'm just paraphrasing, savage, and a few other colorful words and some other stuff, and he was fired for it. And to me, it's not whether you agree or disagree with what he said on Twitter. There's two things. One, he got paid to say those things on the show the last 10 years with XM and then Sirius XM, and he's been on the radio for the last 20 years. And so when you already know his persona, his character, who he actually is, and so that's one thing that I find strange. And the second thing is I don't agree with being fired for something you say on Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or whatever social network you use. There's so many people out there that feel that their voice needs to be heard, where something like a social network platform gives people the opportunity to feel important. And then there's people that are in the public spotlight, in the public eye, that get scrutinized over stuff that they do and stuff that they say. I mean, just look at the amount of people that have been fired or quit, resigned because of stuff that's being said on Facebook and Twitter. Is it going to curb how people think or what people say? No, it's not going to curb what anybody thinks or says. It's going to curb how people are themselves. If you have somebody who's a comedian and they go off on a rampage on Twitter. What are you not going to book? Are you going to fire them? And then what? You're curbing who he is or who she is or what their persona is. People are just going to be afraid to be themselves. Then you have the random nobody who sits down on his couch and tweets, nonstop at celebrities and other people on Twitter, feeling, like I call them keyboard tough guys, feel like a keyboard tough guy, and just waits for that person to respond. I mean, I go after people on Twitter. I go after guys like Keith Olbermann or Al Sharpton, stuff like that. And but I'm not sitting there, calling them every name in the book just to get a reaction out of them. I try to debate people because the thing that I hate most is the hypocrisy that you see in the media world, in the spotlight, in the entertainment world. Whereas some people, you can't really believe what you're saying. You can't really live that way. You can't be taken serious. Like someone like Keith Olbermann, who I don't feel is a real person. I think is just fake in every sense of the word. Like you look at the whole thing with the Washington Redskins. He's been saying, "Oh, I've been against the name Washington Redskins since 1978 or 1981, whenever he first became a sports anchor." It's like that. That's bullshit because nobody thought of that term as a derogative term towards Native Americans. Even now, there's a huge chunk of the population that doesn't have a problem with it. Everybody understands what the N-word is, and some people use it, some people don't use it, some people capitalize off the word, whether you're in the music industry or you're a fake journalist, Al Sharpton. There's just no way for a ton of people to capitalize off Redskin. I mean, there's basically one guy making a lot of money off the name, Dan Snyder, the owner of the Redskins. Who cares? I mean, I don't go around and call people Redskins, to insult somebody. If you want to insult somebody of color and they happen to be black, call them the N-word. You're going to get your point across. You're going to insult that person. I don't know of too many people that go around and insult Native Americans by calling them Redskins. Part of my family is Native American. My ex is half Native. My daughter is part Native American. My grandmother was. I didn't ever hear anybody get pissed off at my grandmother and call her a Redskin. I heard other stuff. I never heard anybody insult my ex or her father's side of the family by calling them Redskin. But all of a sudden, Redskin is deemed inappropriate because there's so many lazy people that have nothing to do with their life other than scrutinize what they read on Twitter and Facebook, especially Twitter. 140 characters or 142 characters? It's hard to get your point across in 140 characters. Trust me, I try a lot. A lot of times I feel I fail. If I see something on Twitter and I want to respond to it or comment to it or retweet it, whatever the case may be, I usually go 2, 3, 4 times. I go back and forth. I'm like, this doesn't sound right. Okay, what can I take out? This is what I want to put. So I'll put it, I'll type it up. Okay, I have 230 characters. How the hell do I shorten this down to, one, get my point across, to not come off as a complete idiot? Most of the time I still come across as an idiot, but I try to get my point across. It's really hard. So there's a lot of things you read on Twitter that is taken out of context because I don't know who can be extremely articulate within 140 characters. That includes spaces and punctuation marks and all this other shit. And if you have to hashtag something or if you have to mention somebody, chances are if you use a hashtag and you mention a couple people, that's most likely a third of the characters you're allowed to use. So what, you're trying to make a point to people or argue a point with what, 100 characters, 110 characters in all actuality. But I mean, in the case of Anthony from Opie and Anthony, he got his point across, you know, within the 140 character mark, and I've read stuff on Reddit, on Twitter, different blogs, on CNN last night, a couple other news agencies, and it's like they missed the point. It's not the people that read the tweet that missed the point. It's the people that analyzed what he wrote they've missed the point. Nor have I seen anybody attack the person that attacked him. Like, okay, what sparked Anthony's outrage on Twitter? He didn't just come out of nowhere and just say this for no reason. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason why people, whether it's honest, whether it's a lie, whether it's a factual statement, whatever the case may be, it's based off of something. Nobody just for no reason at all, other than if you're crazy and you're drunk, is going to just go on Twitter and just ramble off something that can be deemed by a certain population as hateful, as racist, as attacking, as bigotry. I don't see anybody on TV or any of these news agencies have said, why did he say this? All I've heard was, allegedly he was attacked. The word allegedly is the equivalent of saying, I'm a lazy reporter. I'm a lazy journalist. I'm a lazy news anchor. I don't want to get the whole story. I don't want to really dig for the truth. I'm just going to go with this headline right here, and to cover my ass for being lazy and not wanting a lawsuit against me, I'm just going to say allegedly. I think allegedly is stupid. Allegedly, supposedly, it's okay. I understand being sued. You don't want to attack somebody and then have it be thrown in your face as slander. As something in my eye. I was trying to make a fucking point here. Oh, that eyelash is making a pretty good point in my eye. Jesus. But anyway, I don't even know what the hell I was saying now. Oh, with the whole allegedly thing. There was a time where anything a journalist said, you could sit there and say, you know what, they really dug into that and they really did some research and they really did some investigating. Now, nobody does investigating because what's a big chunk of the news that we hear and see and read comes up from social media. Sites like Gawker or TMZ or shows like, I don't know, Inside Edition, Entertainment Tonight, whatever. I don't watch any of those shows. I think most of their core of their stories are just expanded tweets. They were able to take a tweet, and expand on the 140 characters, where now they can make it 2,000 characters or 10,000 characters because they have a platform to speak on it. Really all it is. I read on Twitter the other day there was a crime that was committed in my hometown of Buffalo, New York, and that's how it was being reported through Twitter, and it was like that. This is insane, because one of the local news agencies had tweeted the story. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna click on it. So I clicked on the link. I'm like, okay, it's gonna go to their site, and I'm going to see the rest of the story. No, that wasn't the case. Their story, which was like a half a paragraph, was maybe 300 to 350 characters. Like, okay, you just doubled a tweet. Basically, on your website, which you're supposedly a respectable news agency, the story on your website is the equivalent of 2 tweets. You got what? 280 characters, 300 characters on there. Like that's news reporting. That's reporting. That we're gonna base everything off Twitter. So when you see somebody that gets attacked on Twitter, in the terms of Anthony Cumia from O&A, you look at it and like, okay, he said something on Twitter. Nobody is really digging into the rest of the story. They're only reporting his tweet, and a man lost his job because of a tweet. That is ridiculous. I don't think the creators of Twitter had this in mind. Like, okay, what we want to do, we want to take the world and we want to connect it. We want to, we want to cut the BS on it. We want to trim the fat. We want everybody to be able to connect through our app, through our website, like that, with no nonsense, not all this other BS. It's 140 characters. It's going to be quick and to the point. People could say hi back, and this and that. I think that's what Twitter was meant for. Now you have it as there's like this whole weird entertainment-driven force within the media, and I guess media you can include some shitty websites now, as it's a police force. There's how many besides Anthony Cumia? The guy from Man vs. Food was fired from something he said. Then there were the guys from one of the do-it-yourself shows, like DIY something, home improvement or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I think that guy or two guys were fired from that show. But time and time again, people have had to come out and apologize for stuff they've said on Twitter or stuff they've said on Facebook or something they've had on Instagram. It's like, who cares? You know what? If you don't like what you see on Twitter, you can do a couple things. You could unfollow that person, okay? Or you could get off of Twitter. That is the easiest thing. If you get off of Twitter, if you're not on Twitter, guess what? Twitter doesn't affect you. That's it. That's as easy as it is. You see, okay, this celebrity is racist. I'm not gonna follow him anymore. That person's out of your life. No, we got Grease Bastard on now. Hey man, how you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Not too bad. I was talking about how I feel people have overreacted because of what is said on social media, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus or Instagram or whatever the case may be. And a big story in the last week is Anthony Cumia from O&A being fired for something he tweeted. What do you think? Just for one, how lazy, in my opinion, how lazy the media is out there, and just how we have so much disposable time. I think everybody is just like, if mankind is lazy, we turn into a bunch of witchcraft, the hunters, like the Salem witch trials. We just look for witches. We just look to burn witches at the stake. I think witches were burned in Salem, or people were burned in Salem, just because the Puritans had nothing better to do.
Well, first thing is everyone just needs to calm the fuck down, wipe their pussies off, and stop getting their feelings hurt all the time. I mean, anybody's just getting hurt for anything now. Everyone's so damn sensitive. You look at somebody funny and they're whining and crying, and it's this whole everybody's got to be a winner, nobody can be a loser mentality of life. It's just like, calm down, people. Okay, he tweeted some stuff. He was angry. Were his tweets racist? No. When you look at them, they're racist. But liberals, or not even so much liberals, progressives, look at everything and just automatically assume that it's racist. And the thought behind that is they see everything in race. That's how they look at life. So they're racist. I mean, progressives are the racists because they look at everything is based off race.
Yeah, and I don't even. I mean, you're looking at it at the political aspect. I'm looking at it as I just lost my fucking train of thought now. As it's just everybody feels entitled. Like nobody has the ability to just ignore people anymore. Nobody has feelings that are made of stone anymore, and everybody feels that it's their duty to rake somebody across the coals because of something they say on social media.
Yeah, it's the political correctness machine just going into overdrive. And when you put something out on social media, should you think about what you're doing first? Yes. You know, I mean, you might want to think about what you're putting out there. But he was angry. He got attacked. And he's describing his attacker. And like you said, Twitter, 140 characters. Not a lot of space to get very descriptive. It's everyone just this overreaction, like, oh, he called her a savage. Well,
yeah, true. Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you know, and the funny thing is, I've seen on Twitter, there's the hashtag Justice for Ant or Stand with Ant. Somebody posted a picture. I think it was the New York Times or the New York Post, one of those. I wish I knew the guy's name, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Had a news article. There was a female reporter, a white female reporter who was attacked in Egypt and raped, and the headlines was "Savages." There might have been a little bit more to it, but it's like, okay. Now you look at that. The perpetrators were dark, the victim was light. It's okay to call them savages, but you know, in this instance, you know, the victim, you know, was white, the perpetrator was dark. It's not okay to call them savage then. Now, if the roles were, or if the races were reversed, and Anthony was black, and the person that attacked him was white, I think nobody would have a problem with labeling, you know, the attacker a savage. I don't know.
Oh, if that roles were reversed, Anthony was black and the attacker was white, it would be a whole completely different conversation going on right now.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Al Sharpton would be starting a hashtag, Stand with Ant. You know.
Oh yeah, and he'd be on his bullhorn, you know. All right, everybody, this is what is wrong, and going off and making his fucking jitty comments, and you know, just going to town.
And the thing is, I want to get to a point. I think we talked about it earlier when we were talking on the phone. I had somebody attack Rob and myself for the show we did Sunday night, Center Mass with Rob and Silent J, that's on Media Network, starting at 10 p.m. East, 7 Pacific. I love a good plug, but I had somebody. Their name was like right-wing racist pig something. That was their. Obviously, it's a troll, but like this person basically said, "Where's the proof of Anthony being attacked? You guys are racist. You right-wing." You right-wing conservative Tea Party scum, racist, this, that, you hate gays, you hate transgender, you hate Muslim. Like, basically, Rob and I were the meanest, most disgusting, vile, conservative, right-wing, racist, you know, minority baby stomping monsters on the face of this earth. I mean, to this person, we've killed more minorities than Godzilla did. And, you know, it was just, I looked at it and I kind of laughed and I'm like, you know, just I kind of kept it in terms of the article. I'm sorry, not the article. The issue with Anthony, and I'm like, hey, neither one of us were there. You don't know what happened. Thanks for tuning in. This person went on like a fucking 3-paragraph rebuttal on how we were scumbags and this and that, and you know we're just race hating, you know, bigot, white conservative scumbags, and I'm the only reason why I responded, and I usually don't, is because this person knows absolutely nothing about me or my political affiliation. And what I said to you before on the phone was, I'm too conservative for my liberal friends, and I'm too liberal for my conservative friends. You know,
which puts you probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I'm a way off base in the middle. I just want to be left alone, and I think if everybody just minded their own business, the life would be good. I'm not trying to minimalize anything, but people really need to mind their own damn business.
There's a big one right there. If everybody just, instead of looking at everybody else, just stop and look at themselves and shut the fuck up and just calm down and look at their own lives. Why are there internet trolls? Because their life sucks so bad, they have to go out and try to make other people's lives suck.
I don't think it's that they want to make. I don't think it's they want to make people's lives suck as bad as theirs. I think they're trying to elevate their life. It's if you are a shitty person and you feel shitty about yourself, you can very easily rub off on somebody and make somebody feel just as bad as they do. I think you don't really get too much out of it. There's no self-gratification in that. I think some of these internet, these keyboard tough guys, I call them, some of these people take great pleasure in the fact that their hard work and their mental effort was able to destroy somebody or hurt somebody, so they feel, I think they feel a sense of accomplishment.
Well, yeah, they just want to hurt people because their life sucks and they want to make somebody else's life suck. They get their jollies off inflicting pain on other people.
Yeah, they just need to join a bondage club then, if that's the case. But
they just need to do the world a favor and freaking kill themselves.
Yeah, well,
if you're an internet troll out there, do the world a favor and just kill yourself.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I said something about there was something, and this person's response was, "Oh, who are you? What do you do? LOL. I'm like, well, okay. Well, for one, I'm not hiding behind an anime picture, and I don't have a fake screen name on Twitter. On Twitter, it's my name and my picture. I'm not hiding behind anything because, hey, I use my name and my picture. You know you know what I look like, and you know what my name is. If you dislike me that much, I'm sure you can Google me, get my address, and come punch me in the mouth. Which, if you take that much time and effort and consideration into your plan, I might just let you punch me in the face just because it's like, man, I'd hate to see all this hard work not pay off for you. You need some kind of justification for all this hard work and effort. So here you go, man. Please take a shot on the right side of my chin because I broke the left side of my chin and my jaw before. So don't hit that side again. But I think the fact that the thing that really got to me about this person, well, I'm sorry, going back to the Twitter thing, when somebody goes, "Oh, who are you? What do you do?" LOL. I'm like, and I respond, I'm like, really great comeback. Okay, here's what I am. I'm a veteran, which no big deal. There's a ton of people that are veterans, but I'm also a show host. I'm a public speaker. I'm a writer. I'm a comedian, and I'm like, shall I go on? Do you need more? I didn't get a response back, so it's like, who are you? You're pretending to be a chick, just probably some fat dude, really questioning, what he's gets turned on by, and he lives at home. So
hey, easy on the fat guys there.
Hey man, you're not that fat. I just watched that extreme weight loss show. My girl recorded it and watched it. Holy cow! This guy got skinny. I mean, he lost half of himself. This guy was over.
Dude, that was like 300 pounds.
No, he was over 400 pounds. He lost, I think, like 201 pounds or something like that. The dude had boobs, and his belly button looked like I forgot the name of the creature, but the pit in the Jedi Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back. In Return of the Jedi, that's what his belly button looked like. It's like that's too much too soon. It's like, that's fat. When your stomach looks like a sinkhole, that's fat. When you have boobs, like the guy they weren't flabby, they were boobs. He had breasts, and I mean, I look at it and I'm like, if you changed what his crotch is, you can't show that on TV. You couldn't show that if that was a girl. Those are breasts. It just so happens to be on a guy, but for some reason, women breasts on TV are horrible, but man breasts are not only are they acceptable to be shown on TV, but like people like them because there's so many just fat dude boobs on TV. It's like, I don't want to see that. I don't think
there's just too much male nudity on TV in general nowadays.
Dude, I've been watching, you know the series Oz that was on HBO?
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, dude, I just got done watching season 1, and I'm like 3 episodes into season 2. I've seen more damn penises on there and more asses, and I forgot. Like, I haven't seen that show in so long. I'm like, man, I want to watch this series on Amazon Prime. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna watch? And I'm watching one with my girl. It's the show that was on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's called Human Beings or Being Human, something like that. It's a ghost, a wolf, and a vampire live together.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was it.
I'm like 6 or 7 episodes in. I never saw it. I was flipping through Amazon Prime. I'm like, oh, we should watch that. I'm like, okay. It's not completely cheesy yet, but I'm like, I want to watch something by myself. I wanted to watch something. I'm like, what doesn't she want to watch? I'm like, I don't think she wants to watch Oz. So I just had a marathon one night, and I watched like 4 episodes, and the next night I did another marathon of like 4 episodes. Now I'm committed to watch the whole series again. But man, I tell you what, I've seen more penises in the last week than James has, and that's a stretch.
Yeah, that's a big stretch because we all know how much James loves the cock.
Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, like if you look at TV, like this is the society we live in. I guess this is a way to wrap up the whole O&A thing, which I do. I stand with Ants. We as a society, as a people, we get deeply offended when somebody puts 10, 15, 20 characters on Twitter that we disagree with, but look at some of the stuff you see on TV. It's like the stuff you see on TV is grotesque. I mean, I'm not one to like, oh, censorship. I don't care. When I was overseas, we had a satellite television, and we were able to watch European TV channels. There's something
all we ever got was AFN.
Man, Europe's doing so. Oh, we got one off the local economy. I tell you what, Europe's doing something right because you don't see a whole lot of violence on TV. You see a whole lot of nudity, and it's like, it's fine. We live in a society where female breasts are just as evil as a tweet, but watching murder and beheadings on Facebook and some of the evening news, that's okay. We can report on that stuff, but I tell you what, women's breasts and tweets, that's the real scourge of society.
Well, TV in general. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I can't even watch TV with my kids anymore. I mean, even Nickelodeon, a kids network. Half that stuff, it's like, all right, you can't watch that inappropriate. Can't watch that inappropriate. The damn commercials are inappropriate. It's just.
What's inappropriate? Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I think we might have different parenting philosophies. My daughter's 8. What do you consider, as a parent, what do you consider inappropriate for your child?
Well, this is going to be the conservative coming out of me now.
Oh, boy. Plug your ears, folks.
All you liberals, your heads are going to explode in a second.
All you libertarians out there, plug your ears. I could give a shit about the liberals.
No, I mean, like, the gay agenda. This is one that's killing me. A population that makes up, 2%? Is pushed onto us so strong, you would think it was 90% of, the world was gay.
I tell you what, though, you ever watch a gay TV show? That stuff is entertaining. They add a certain level of pizzazz. Oh, Modern Family is funny as hell. I tell you what, it's a lot better than the King of Queens ever was. And that was real Americans. Those were fat, hardworking Americans. And that was a boring show. Nobody cares about fat Americans. Those gays.
But trying to explain that to a 6-year-old, my daughter's 6, my son's 4.
Okay.
But trying to explain that to them is not something I want to have to do.
I'll
I mean,
do
I
it.
think my
You
kid's
have your
Catholic
your
school.
son your son's a little he's a little oh, don't, you're worried about gays on TV, but you're gonna send your kids to Catholic school? Come on, man. You're setting them for a failure there. You're setting them up to think that they're gonna have a lot of guilt. You ever hear that Catholic guilt? Yep. Sandusky
Hey,
was
it's
an
a
altar
very
boy.
effective parenting tool.
Huh? No, I know.
Catholic guilt is a very effective parenting tool.
Yeah. I went to Catholic school for 2 years, then I was kindly asked not to go back. I was in the first grade. I was a kindergarten and first grade. My cousin was the priest of the school or the church that it was that the school was attached to. I was asked not to come back. So I mean, I got out. I got out when the getting was good. I mean, that was the early '80s. You know what would have happened to me if I would have stayed in?
Well,
It'd be called the Silent Gay Show.
What was primetime TV in the 80s? We had
Full
shows
House.
like Family Matters, Full House.
Full House. Okay, 3 dudes living together with some little girls. That's not fucking creepy. Come on, man. That's not creepy. Family Matters. The neighbor's kid just walks in the house. That's not creepy. And there's handcuffs in the house. Come on. That's creepy. That's worse than anything on Bravo.
Oh, you compare that to shows like Murder in the First that's on TV, or True Crimes, or what are some of the Revenge or Scandals? That's primetime TV that is not appropriate for the family.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. Listen, I sit down, I watch. You want to explain gays to your kids? Sit them down and watch Modern Family with them, and they ask, why are those 2 guys together? Because they like each other. And then you know what you tell them? Listen, your house isn't gonna burn down magically if those 2 guys live together. Once you realize that your house is safe, because most Americans treasure their home more than anything, right or wrong, because that's the roof over your head. Gays getting together and getting married, your house isn't gonna blow up. Now, maybe the Westboro Baptist Church, maybe their house will blow up, but nobody else. That's the thing. I tell my daughter, I want my daughter to be a lesbian until she's 30. She's 8 years old right now, because I won't have to.
I've said the same thing.
I won't have.
You're 30 and become straight.
Yep, I won't have to worry about any oopses at the prom. I won't have to worry about a waste of saving college money for her. I won't have to worry about any of that stuff. Then at the age of 30, she's done with college. She doesn't have a child. Hopefully she's cemented in a career. Then I'll sit down with you. Hey, you're 30 years old. Do you want to stay gay or do you want to go straight? You just let me know. That's fine, because now I'm interested in being a grandfather. That's fine. I don't care. To me, gays. It used to be an issue for me. I think we're the same age. I'm in my mid-30s. It was like one of those things. It's like. They would talk about a gay character, I think maybe once on a show in the 80s, on a sitcom, and then,
more as a comic relief.
Yeah, and then a little bit in the 90s where it's like, I didn't even know what gay was back then, but it's like you looked at some of the actors and stuff, it's like, me and that guy, we don't have too much in common. I don't know what it is yet, but him and I...
Well, gays back then were also funny, too, because they were flamboyant. They were the Elton John... big flamboyant gay.
Here's the other thing. Do you as a parent, your daughter grows up, do you want her bringing someone home that's really flamboyant but says, I'm straight? I don't think so. You might say, hey, you know what? There's another team you could play on. Because that's the thing. You get all these people. I'm under, this is the libertarian side of me. I don't care. Pay your taxes, all right? Don't murder somebody. Don't rape somebody. Don't molest anybody. Don't sell my child heroin or crack. Don't drive drunk. Pay your taxes. Other than that, I could care less. And never vote for the incumbent. Other than that, I don't care. And that's where I live. Listen, if 30% of America all of a sudden becomes gay, I don't care. Just pay your taxes and be a law-abiding citizen. You don't have to be religious, but the whole Ten Commandments thing, that's kind of a good way to go. That's just in general. If you want to change that and say 10 rules to live by, that has nothing to do with God, I still think that's good to don't murder, don't cheat, don't steal, stuff like that. Be nice.
Yeah,
be nice.
Religion is a guideline. It's not. I mean, I'm not really a religious person. It's a guideline. It's some good rules of the road. It's that basic human principle of killing people bad, raping people bad.
Yeah.
It's these basic guidelines of, hey, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I explained to my daughter, and her mom has. Like, my daughter knows what homosexuality is. She don't care. It's like, okay, it really didn't affect her. I thought it was going to be a big deal because, especially the way I was raised. Like, my mom, listen, for that person that bashed me on the YouTube channel by saying I was a bigot, I was racist, I was this and that, you've never met my mom. My mom is the biggest. She's the meanest racist out there. She's mean. And you know what's even funny? She's a Democrat. She's the most
further to my point.
She's the most outwardly racist. Watch. I saw a viewer click down on the YouTube analytics right here. It was probably my mom watching. But my mom is the meanest, most hateful, racist person I know. I know for a fact. You want to put her up against anybody else, she'll out hate you. I mean, she'll give the Westboro Baptist Church a run for their money. I mean, that's as plain as I don't know. She's just an anomaly of a human being. She's the weirdest freaking person in the world. I mean, if you want a good reality show, she's like my mom is the female version of Puck from Real World 3, but Puck probably grew up to be a decent human being.
No, didn't you ever see that Real World callback episode thing or whatever? He is still a strange motherfucker.
Is he? Yeah, I like that guy in the 90s, which we're going to play a little game in a little bit. We're going to play a game. Not that game, you weirdo. We're going to play another one. I got this list. I'm going to do a weekly thing of we're going to make you feel old. I'm going to feel old too, don't worry.
All I gotta do to feel old is look in the fucking mirror.
Yeah,
try to get up from a seated position.
Yeah, because I got a month left in the of doing this whole active thing in the Army, and then I'm gonna call that quits. And I'm gonna go into the reserve. So I've been letting my hair go because I'm like, I got 67 days of terminal leave, and then I'm realistically gonna have another 2-3 months before I have to report to the reserves. So I got a good possible 4, 5, 6 months of just being Army free, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get a haircut, so I'm gonna practice right now. So I didn't get a haircut for as long as I possibly could. Then I found out yesterday, I was getting ready to leave work, and one of my coworkers goes, "Hey, the commander's gonna be here in the morning." All right, I'm gonna go get a haircut, and I noticed all the gray hairs on the side, because I don't let the sides really grow out until just recently. I'm like, I'll go a couple weeks without a haircut. Well, my hair grows fast, and it's kind of thick on the sides. And I was
thick
just
on the side, thin on the top.
No, I'm not going bald, but just for whatever reason, like, it's weird. I'd have to look normal with long hair. I'd have to let the top grow out for like a month, and then let the sides grow out, because just for whatever reason the sides will grow faster. It just looks weird. I look like the kids that grew up in the neighborhood, like, oh, they're obviously poor. Look at that Floby haircut. His dad just stuck a vacuum with razor blades on his head. And that's what you got. For a lot of you listening, a Floby was a vacuum attachment where you could cut your hair. For anybody not old enough to know what a Floby is. So,
pretty much, if you were born after 1989, you wouldn't know what a Floby was.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Round Pole Peel, that was a badass. He had so many cool contraptions for hair. He had that spray-on hair. He had the Floby. The guy was amazing. Round Pole Peel, got the deal for you.
But Ronco, man, they're still like, every now and again I catch some of those infomercials. Still rocking all the knives and the Showtime rotisserie and everything else.
I didn't know that. I just don't watch TV enough anymore. Oh, watch. Now I'm going to be obsessed with finding a Ronco infomercial tonight after the show.
Oh, dude, just stay up. It kicks on at that 2 in the morning time slot where all the everything goes from TV to infomercials. You'll find one.
Yeah, but with going back, I'm like, I feel old. I'm looking and I'm like, I got a lot of gray hair now. I'm only in my mid-30s, and I'm like, I have dark hair, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker stands out. I'm like, my hair is glistening in the sunlight. That's not supposed to happen to, straight, almost middle-aged men with tattoos. Our hairs don't glisten, I got a buddy of mine that lives in Wisconsin. He's gay as can be. He's in his mid-20s. That dude could glisten all he wants. I'm not supposed to glisten.
Well, see, my hair took the early retirement plan and moved south.
Oh, nice. So you have to trim your shoulders.
Trim my shoulders, more like wax my ass. Shit.
I'm questioning waxing your ass, Modern Family, sending your kids to Catholic school. Man, we're gonna have when we link up in either California or Vegas or something with everybody, we're gonna have a fabulous party, according to Grease Bastard.
Well, did you ever hear the story of what we were supposed to do the last time we were in Vegas when me, Adam, and James went out there?
I heard little bits and pieces, but no, I'm gonna wait until this year to experience it. Well, this coming SHOT Show. But what happened?
Well, James lost the bet to me, and the bet was the loser was supposed to throw on a leopard print banana hammock. We were going to go to a gay bar, and they're going to have to get up and karaoke. I think we picked out a George Michael song. It was that I Want Your Sex song. So James was going to have to leopard print banana hammock at a gay bar, singing freaking George Michael's I Want Your Sex.
Oh, damn, dude, I'd do that. Just pay for my drinking for a weekend, and I'll do that. Oh, man, I'm cheap. Any way I could get even cheaper, I'll do it. I don't care. But I'm not going to sing. You know what I'd want to sing? Let me see. What is a questionable song for karaoke that I could sing? Blitzkrieg Bop. I would sing Blitzkrieg Bop by Sweet. That's what I would sing at a gay joint for karaoke. I like that. I think I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to go find me a gay bar and sing some Blitzkrieg Bop. But minus the thong. I'll just do it I'll buy a pair of overalls to make it really confusing. Like, what the hell is this dude doing here?
The kicker, I thought a good kicker for that was going to be to make him take a Viagra about an hour before he goes into the gay bar, so he walks in with a fucking razor.
That wouldn't do much to him. Not noticeable. It's not noticeable at all. But for those of you that don't know, James is he's one of the founders of Vets on Media, and the only reason why I'm all for bashing James because he plugged my show a little bit earlier on his show, and this bastard said, oh, he could talk about anything, talk about football, wrestling, news, politics, military, and he loves trannies. And then he went on to something else. I'm like, what? Where the hell did that come from? But why do I love trannies? I mean, I could give you reasons personally, but you don't do that when you're setting up a man's show.
Speaking of trannies, there was something going around the internet. Someone made a video. It's like a 40-minute long documentary video about how Michelle Obama's a tranny.
I believe it.
Have you seen that one?
No, but I believe it. She's got some. Her tendencies of masculinity far exceed her spouse's.
Yeah, they went through a whole thing, and they broke it down point by point of how she is a tranny. Like, they do this thing with the hands where if you look at your ring, on all males, their ring finger is longer than their pointer finger. On all males, their ring finger is longer than their pointer finger, and on all females, it's shorter.
Maybe she's just got weird hands.
A genetic thing that's just the way it is. And then they brought up a picture of her hand, and her fucking ring finger is longer than her pointer finger.
Okay.
Like, boom, right there.
You're looking at some goofy Alex Jones stuff. Follow her into the bathroom one day. If you look under the stall and her toes are pointed towards the wall, and she's peeing, it's a dude. Now, if her heels are pointing towards the wall and she's peeing, well, she's either tucking or she's a chick. So, I mean, just if you want to find out if the first lady is what her gender is, just go follow her into the bathroom when she's peeing. You'll find out real quick. So, and if she's standing at a urinal with her dress up over her face, yeah, you definitely know. So that's whatever. More power.
I've known some chicks that could pee standing up. So
yeah, I've had those drunk ones. You know what? I hate that. Speaking of chicks that pee like that, you ever go out with a group of people and you got that one annoying chick, and you know, this was going back a long time ago. I was at a bonfire, and there's just one annoying chick, and there's like a tree line right, this in my buddy's backyard, and guys were going and pissing in the tree line, and this girl decided, I don't know, just show everybody how much of a badass she was. She walked back there and she was doing like the weird ET squat thing, like not squatting, but she was like standing funny. She looked like Gandhi, and she was peeing standing up, and it's like, and she comes back, she says, yeah. What did you prove? You proved that your sexuality is not questionable, or you're not a lady. I'm sorry. I don't get all excited. I'm not gonna high five a chick because she's peeing standing up in front of me. You know.
No. When I talk about peeing standing up, I'm talking about like through a little arch in their back.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Arch the string.
No, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about doing like a sumo squat. I'm talking about like, writing your name in the snow type thing.
Yeah. Like standing beside me at a urinal, fucking making it in the bowl.
Hey, listen, if there's a good-looking chick that walks up to you and she pees next to you in a urinal, just high five her. But when you're in someone's backyard and a chick does that, that's ignorant. So, but anyway, let's get our mind out of the gutter a little bit, and I'm gonna come up with a jingle for next week for this. I got this list here of things that'll make you feel old. I'm not going to go through all of them. Some of the cool ones I think we could talk about and dissect a little bit on how old we actually feel. But here's the first one. 1998 is as far away as 2030 is.
Well, I don't know if that makes me feel old. That's just throwing some dates out there.
Well, hearing you breathe heavily makes me realize that you're either turned on by numbers or you're no good at them. But here's one that'll make you feel old. Will Smith is now older than Uncle Phil was at the beginning of Fresh Prince.
Yeah, that'll throw some age on here.
Yep. Wannabe from what are they? Spice Girls is 18 years old, so you can legally have sex with the Spice Girls' first single in most states. Kentucky, you could have done that shit 10 years ago. Eminem's daughter is just graduated high school. Who cares? Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog is 23 years old this year. It's been 10 years since the last episode of the Rugrats aired. I care less about that. And if the Rugrats were real people, they would all be in their mid-20s. That's kind of funny.
Well, it's kind of like how old did Bart and Lisa be now?
I think
90.
Yeah, like 67 years old. I think they all have what is it? Progeria disease.
Or you don't age.
Progeria kids. They look like they're little kids forever.
Yeah, they're all Webster.
Yeah, let's see here. No, that one's dumb. She's hot. No, this list is dumb. Oh, okay. If Bart Simpson were real, he would be 31 years old.
See, there we go.
Yep. It's been, for all you tech geeks out there, it's been 5 years since all geosite websites have been deleted. Those were like stupid fanboy pages. Kids in high school were born in the year 2000. That makes me feel old, because I remember when 9/11 happened. I just got back from the Army, and now those kids are getting ready for high school, who were born. kids that don't know what the hell 9/11 is are going to high school. And I watched it on TV. I'm like, oh, shit, going overseas.
Yeah, that was a fun fucking day.
Yep. Let's see what else. The first Friends episode aired 20 years ago. They got a Us magazine cover on here with the three chicks from Friends.
Back when the two of them were kind of hot.
Forget that. All three of them are hot, at least in this picture. And they're tugging on a rope. If that's not an innuendo, I don't know what is. I don't like that. And the final episodes of Friends aired 10 years ago, and they got to cover a TV guide. Wow, what a difference. Man, they're still not that bad, but I like that first one. Check out Us Magazine, the February 94 issue. It says Wild Things on the cover. Yeah, that's good. If you want to know what was good about the 90s, that was it right there. Yeah.
Yeah, the clothes definitely were not. You ever go back and look at old pictures of yourself and go, fuck, what was I thinking?
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio's 40. Keenan and Kel. I never watched that show, but it was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that was a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Yeah, they're 36 years old. Yeah.
Okay, well, here's one. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Yeah, they're in their 20s now, aren't they?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I remember, was it Howard that had the countdown until they were legal?
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody had the countdown until they were legal. I just remember.
Oh,
that.
yeah, I remember
Terrible.
that. Yeah, countdown until the Olsen twins are of legal age. Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld was 35 when Seinfeld started. He's now 60. That'll make you feel old. Shit. Most of these are dumb. Forrest Gump is 20 years old this year. Crispy M&Ms haven't been sold in 9 years. Those were crappy.
Those were horrible.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. I'm not clicking on that. The Taco Bell dog has been dead for 5 years. That's funny. The cast of Matilda. What is that? Who's Matilda? I don't even know what that is. A lot of these are dumb. Remember Amanda Tripp? I don't even know what the hell that is. Remember Angela from Boy Meets World, the black chick on there? Here's what she looks like today. Let's click to reveal. Whoa! What the hell happened to her? Oh my God! Hold it. Her Angela from Boy Meets World. She was a black girl on the show. I think that was in the later seasons. Very attractive girl. Okay, and then I'm looking at it now. Holy cow! She went from a black girl with a 90s shirt on, nice 90s flannel shirt on. She looks like a Japanese transvestite now. I'm not kidding you. She had like twisty hair, with a flannel shirt, cute girl. I don't know how old she is, so I'm not going to say she's hot, but she's hot. And now, what the hell happened to her? She definitely had her eyes done. She had her nose done. She got light. Her hair is bleached. She just looks ugly. It looks like the Japanese try to make a Barbie doll. John Candy's been dead for 20 years.
You know what makes this country great? Look at Michael Jackson, where you can start off a poor black boy and end up a rich white woman.
Yep, and then they buried him in the recycling bin. That's awesome. Aaliyah has been dead for 13 years. John Candy's been dead for 20. That's crazy. Uncle Buck, awesome movie. What the hell is this?
Or what was the hunting one where they're out in the cabin?
Canadian Bacon?
No. The frickin' movie with John Candy when they were out at the cabin. They had the bald bear, and then he fucking used that lamp and shot the hair off its ass.
I don't. I'm not sure. What the hell is this? Oh my God. Yeah. Oh man. There's this weird looking kid. And it says the last one, and this is what Beans from Even Stevens looks like today. Um, this kid, I think I remember the show. My sister used to watch it. This kid, for all of you out there, Google Beans from Even Stevens. He had like kind of longish hair that was parted. You could tell his hair was going to be a disaster when he got older, and he looked like he I'm not making fun of him. He looks like he's kind of slow. He looks like he's a little slow. Now you slide over and look what he looks like today. The dude, yep, his hair is a train wreck. He's got thick hair on the side, bald on top with a comb over. He's just
Spit it out.
wow. The dude looks like a well-dressed creeper. Wow, that's really weird. And then there's a lot of stupid stuff on here. Brittany and Justin broke up 12 years ago. Who cares? High C fruit boxes, juice boxes haven't been sold in 13 years. I didn't know that. So you go to your grandma's house and she has a High C juice box. Don't drink that shit. Stuff's old. Really old. Don't drink it. Don't trust it. That's what I say. But anyway, when you see something, what makes you feel old? When you see something that's just like, damn.
Well, my wife's a teacher, so anytime I go to her school, I feel extremely old. I go back to my high school auto shop all the time, and I see the kids walking around there, and it's just like, oh, Christ. Here's a good one. My wife was a babysitter for a long time and I remember when I deployed, the lady she was nannying for had a kid when I deployed, and now that kid's going to high school.
Yeah, wow, that's kind of messed up. Yeah, it didn't make me feel old, but yesterday my nephew just turned a year old. I'm like, I don't feel old there. He's still a baby. But then thinking about it, I'm like, holy shit, my sister is a pretty good age to have a 1-year-old. That's what made me feel old, because I haven't seen my sister. I've only seen my sister like maybe 3 times in the last 8-9 years, something like that, 3-4 times. She lives in Florida. I've been stationed all over the place, and I live north now, but we'll see each other soon. So I still, we keep in touch on the phone and texting and Facebook and stuff like that. But a lot of the time I'll see a current picture of my sister. I'm like, oh, that's right. She looks haggard. But I was like, oh yeah, she's got age lines. But I'm like, I still picture my sister being young. Like, if you're away from family for, an insane amount of time, and even then, like, she's lived in Florida since she was a teenager. So I haven't even seen her a dozen times in the last, 15, 16 years. It's maybe 8-9 times we've seen each other in the last 15 or 16 years. I think my sister is like that teenager, really the last time we had, lots of interactions with each other. So that's what kind of freaks me out, is like when you haven't seen family in a long time, then all of a sudden you see them like, holy, wow, you're old, or you're fat now, or what happened to your hair, or you're skinny, or wow, you're just really. And I'm sure people think of me the same way. They see, like, oh wow, you got more bags under your eyes. Wow, that's okay. At least you're consistently looking like a bag of ass.
Well, here's one. When you go to the grocery store and you get can I help you out with that, sir? Damn it.
Yeah. It was weird because not too long ago, maybe 9 years ago, I went to the movies with my girlfriend. Yeah, I was in my mid-20s, going on mid-20s. I went to a movie with my girl at the time, and the person at the counter ID'd me to get into a rated R movie. I was like,
when was the last time you were carted to buy beer?
Not as much as I'd like to. But being ID'd for a rated R movie when you're in your mid-20s and you already got a couple deployments under your belt, it's like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, I hit 30. I got stressed the hell out. My ex and I split up and just stressed out. And I aged, excessively over the last, 3-4 years. Just stress in life. But yeah, I went from like looking like a little kid to now I'm a progeny kid. Now, you look like a little kid, but we can tell you're old, So.
I just get the old. Got kids, My wife does it because she thinks it's funny. She'll ask her students, or how old do you think my husband is? Oh, he looks like he's 40 or 45. Like, oh, you little bastards.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Don't lie.
3?
You're 33?
Yeah, 33 or 32.
You don't even know how old you are? Freaking liar.
Okay.
On Facebook.
Important birthday.
16,
18, 21, 65.
Huh?
Those are the only dates you give a shit about. 16 to drive, 18, you're an adult, 21 to drink, 65 to get to retire.
So are you 32 or 33?
I'm
not trying to date you, you weirdo. So I'm 3 years older than you. Damn.
Yo, whoopsie fucking do.
Man, here I seriously thought you were like 40.
See, every fucking fuck you too.
Man, that's what you get. Man, you got to tighten up that midsection a little bit, man.
Hey, I'm in shape. Round is in shape, goddammit.
You know what you need to do? You need to get a hair transplant. Just get a cheese grater and slice some of your shoulder off and just patch it to your forehead. It'll look a little weird for a while, but just tell everybody you're going through a grafting treatment and they'll leave you alone.
I'm aging like a train wreck.
Yeah, don't worry. Same here. Okay, now that we're done talking about getting old, because I'm sure everybody's listening to this going like, this topic's getting old.
All 2 viewers that are left.
Yeah. One. No, I still got the live. Did I even turn that on? Hold on. Did I turn that on? Oh, yeah, it's on. Okay. I was going to say, shit. I hope I turned that on. You want to hear something? Last week, I forgot to turn off the live stream at the end of the show. Like, I shut off the YouTube feed with Center Mass with myself and Rob. I turned off the YouTube stream, and I forgot to turn off the live stream for for the website. And
yeah.
Our whole conversation was broadcasted. I don't remember what was said. I was trying to think because I looked on my phone afterwards. I grabbed my phone, I looked down, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is what time it is. I was looking to see what time it was, and then I clicked out, I X'd out of a window on my computer, and then all of a sudden I see the server box, and it says on air. I'm like, holy shit. and I shut it off real quick. I'm like, oh man. I was trying to think. I'm like, was I talking to myself? Did I sing to myself at all? Like, did I say any bad words? Because I don't know what the heck I was doing. I looked to see what time it was, and then I was doing something on my phone, and I tend to swear excessively at my phone sometimes, and so I was like, did that go over the air? Because all of a sudden you share silence, and I would think people would have clicked off of it. But if I'm ever listening to a show and they say, okay, good night, everybody, goodbye, and then you just hear, oh man, okay, yeah, that was an alright show, we gotta fix this. I'm gonna tune in and be like, I feel like I'm in the room right now. I feel like I'm part of the show.
I'm gonna keep listening.
I'm gonna make sure that button goes from that icon. What color is it? Let me look at it right now here. Okay, it's red. It's red now.
Out of the Games did that a while back too, where they thought they were broadcasting their commercials, but they just left all the mics live, no commercials playing. They're just sitting there bullshitting away during what they thought was a commercial break.
I've done that. You know what? You know what the worst moment of that was for me, which. I had somebody in the studio with me. I was working at I was doing an FM show, and the platform, well, the concept of the show was I played like old school punk, hardcore, stuff like that, and I would talk about current events, social issues, and politics. I was kind of like, it was like a Rush Limbaugh-esque, I guess, type show, but entertaining, and truthful, not bloviated like that pill popper is. And it was a young crowd. I was trying to bring in a younger audience to get people interested in the news and politics and stuff like that. And like, okay, I did my live reads. I had some live reads, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play some music. And with that show, it was my own format, so I could play 10 songs in a row. I could play one. I could talk for a half hour straight, or I could talk for 30 seconds. The choice was mine. So we're just cruising on this show, just having a good time. My buddy came in. He goes, I just want to sit in studio. I don't want to say anything. I just want to sit in studio and chill and watch the show live. I'm like, all right, man, sounds good. So we talked about something, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna listen to this, and this song. And I hit play for the songs, and I moved the mic away a little bit. And I remember, like, see, man, I told my buddy, I'm like, see, man, this is a effing breeze. This stuff is so effing easy. Like, I can host this whole radio show by myself, control the board by myself. I'm like, I don't need an effing producer or an engineer. I'm like, no effing problems here. All of a sudden, the phone started ringing. And I pick up the phone, and it was the manager. He's like, you got a hot mic! Ah! He just screamed. He's like, you got a hot mic! Ah! And he hung up, and I'm like, what? And I look, I'm like, oh man, the on-air button was still on. I didn't click the button, so you just heard me dropping f-bombs. Like, this is so effing easy. I can effing do this by myself. I don't need no mother effer here. I don't need this blah blah blah. Shit's a breeze. F this studio. I run this whole effing thing by myself. As you can hear me talking over a punk rock song, which, because the on-air button was on, the music that I was playing was just coming in, faintly enough, kind of like background music. If you're doing like a live read commercial and you have background music or intro music going, that was the volume. So people heard me loud and clear, and I'm like, uh-oh. So
that was your last show.
No, I lasted a couple more months. So instead of just, because I hate the cheesy douchey way that anchors are, like when a news anchor accidentally says like the F word or something, live on the news or something. They're like, oh, we apologize for that technical it wasn't a technical difficulty. You stopped reading off the teleprompter. You thought for yourself. See, you were being a human being, and you swore, because that's what human beings do. They kind of get mad about something, or they think something was funny, and you tend to follow it up with the F word or the S word, or if you're British, the C word. So that's just life.
Well,
that's just how it is.
Which F word? Because we have the new F word now.
Oh, the 4-letter one.
Oh, okay. There's the new F word. And
so instead of like, oh, apologize about the technical difficulty, it wasn't a technical difficulty. I was just an idiot. I was too excited about patting myself on the back like Barry Horowitz instead of hitting the damn off-air button, And so I'd lean over, and before I hit the button, I'm like, that was me behind the scenes. Now you know what DJs say when the microphone's not on. I'm like, I wanted to give you guys a taste of how the show's really run around here. And then I hit the air button, and the music pumped up. So yeah, that was. And then the station manager called back. What was that? What the F was that? I'm like, why are you swearing? Didn't we have enough for the night already? No more swearing tonight? Come on. I forgot what his name was, like Chuck or Carl or Craig. I think it was Craig. If not,
did you get a fine?
No, it was inadvertent. Yeah, it was inadvertent. It was also later. It wasn't during the day. So it was actually, technically, I was allowed to swear. After safe hours, I think it's after 10 p.m., you can swear, technically. It's just during the safe hours, I think, are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, and with I think it's an 8-hour window, to where you could actually be an adult. Just stations are too scared, you know. I mean, obviously, what I said went a little bit beyond, even for the unsafe hours. I forgot what it's called though, but there's the safe hours, and then there's whatever else it's called. But even that was a little excessive, so I didn't really end too well with that station. But here's the thing: I had a show where I may have been under the influence of liquids. So what I did was I was doing a show, and I let a few slip, a few words slip, and then I played a couple of the wrong tracks, and I let some swear words slip on the songs, and so I got an email saying, blah blah blah, was listening, and this and that won't be tolerated. We can understand an accident, but it seemed like you were doing it on purpose, and I wasn't doing it. I didn't want to admit, that.
No, I was drunk.
Yeah, I didn't want to admit that I was drunk on air. So I was just like, I was just really stressed out. It's got some things going on, and just my mind wasn't completely where it should have been. I do apologize. Won't happen again. I love doing the show. I go back to do the show. No, all right. Go back. Okay, it's my time to do the show. Go to use my swipe card to get in. My swipe card's not working. They didn't have enough decency to fire me. What they did was just deactivate my access card to get into the building. So I fixed that though. I just want everybody out there who remembers this show. It turned that night. It was called Silent J's Pirate Radio, because the cleaning man he might have had a disability, and I may have played off on that, and I got him to let me in. So cleaning man went walking by, and I'm like, hey man, hey, remember me? Oh, hey, you gotta let me in. My card's not working. Can't let you in. You can let me in, see? He goes, you gotta have a card. I'm like, yeah, but mine doesn't work. He goes, they probably shut it off. I'm like, listen, dude, they're not going to shut my card off. That's just insane. I'm on the station. He goes, oh, okay. So he let me in, and I went into the studio, and I locked the studio door, and I put a chair behind it, what do you call it, the doorknob, and I went about my business of hosting a show, and I didn't do any of the live reads. There. So that was my little bit of payback for them unceremonious, and they had every right to get rid of me, but I didn't feel it was necessary. It wasn't the right time or the place to let me go at that moment. I wanted to say goodbye to my audience. So, and goodbye I did.
I'm surprised you've been on that song for so long.
Huh?
I'm surprised you've been able to stay on that song in Tactical 16 so long.
Man, listen, everything's good. Why do you think I'm on at night? I'm never going to get a 2 p.m. slot. I know that much. But listen. And, oh, yeah, I wanted to tell everybody, Eric's going to be on next week to announce some big news. So, yeah, my big announcement is that next week he'll have a big announcement. And don't worry, anybody. It's not going to be bad. It'll be good,
Oh wait, isn't his big announcement going to take place this Sunday?
No, it's another. Wait. No, a week and a half.
No, according to his Twitter.
No, it's a week and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
date.
It was this Sunday.
No, it's the following week. So, so yeah, there's going to be a big announcement coming from Tactical 16's fearless leader. And
or if you want the insider, you just go to Twitter to Tactical 16 and read the Twitter post.
Don't go on Twitter. There's nothing but savagery on Twitter. People get fired going on Twitter. So I don't want to get anybody fired. All right. So we're not going to go on Twitter. So we got a big thing. He's going to be on the air and he's going to talk about the show, and he's going to give me a raise. I am now going to make 1 cent per show. It's going to be my raise. But I gotta hear something. You were talking some trash on Vets On today.
Yeah. Well, James started it, so I just had to come in and finish it.
Yeah. What can you weld? Because I think we might be in a welding contest in the
it's
future.
It's not what I can weld, it's what I can't weld. And as far to my knowledge, there's nothing I can't weld.
You can't weld?
No, I can. Is a frog butt watertight? Hell yeah, I can weld. That's what I do for a living.
I didn't know. I thought you were just a professional podcasting stalker.
Fuck you. Yeah, see, oh yeah, I gotta get on you for that, yeah. Podcast groupie.
Listen, I gotta label everybody with something, and that's the only thing I could come up with you. I mean, you already labeled yourself Grease Bastard, so I gotta label you something else. Grease Bastard, the ever powerful radio groupie. So, but yeah.
I'm like a fungus, Once you get it, you just can't get rid of it.
Before we get going, because I'm gonna wrap up here soon, because I have, what I have tomorrow at work? You were in the Army.
What's that?
I have an IG inspection.
Ha.
So I gotta, I gotta be on my best behavior. I gotta get a new uniform ready. I gotta come in with a clean one. And what I'm gonna do, since they're gonna be inspecting my section, I'm gonna go and buy coffee and donuts for everybody, because I know while they're eating donuts and drinking coffee, I can take a bunch of stuff to the shredder. And you can't inspect stuff that doesn't exist anymore. How much time do you have? You got a lot of time to put these little strips of paper together? I don't think so. You're only going to
coffee and donuts is good, but a big stack of porn is even better.
Yeah, if it's a bunch of and it's what about a bunch of old female E7s coming in, or E8s and a CW3 and a 04? I'd be like, oh, this is definitely the wrong porn. Man.
You know how many command inspections I got out of? There's nothing but good porn.
Yeah, you know what? Back in the day, that would work, but even now, it's like, everybody, you can get porn on your phone instantly. Porn doesn't impress me anymore, because it's like anybody could get it anywhere, anytime. Just like back in the day when you saw a Playboy when you were younger, like, oh man, this is money. Look at that. This is better than the workout chick on ESPN in the morning. Right here, this is it. Now it's like, whatever. You know what I can do on my phone and Google? I can come up with the weirdest combination and just put sex video at the end of it, and there's going to be something on Google. And so I can't. Porn's not going to work for this IG inspection.
Yeah, when 03 in Iraq, porn was a hot commodity. That and alcohol, so.
Oh yeah, that brought up a good point. I remember back in 03. Yeah, it was 03. It might have been 04, but in that deployment of 03, 04, there was this kid. We were rolling into a fob or LSA, whatever you want to call him. And this kid goes, "Good Vicky," and the kid is this Iraqi kid, probably like 10 years old. He's doing like the thrusting motion. He's like, "Good Vicky, good Vicky," and he had a DVD. Good Vicky. Vicky was porn or sex. I don't know what the actual translation was, but I know what he was doing, and I know what he was holding in his hand, and to me, Vicky Vicky was porn. So I'm like, yeah, good Vicky Vicky's like, yeah, mister, good Vicky Vicky, $10 good Vicky Vicky. I'm like, $10? Get the hell out of here. I told the driver, man, dude, mister, no, mister. Shut up, $10? Driver, keep driving. No, you stop. No, you stop wasting my time. And then I'd always point, I'd point to the gun. You see this? This says I don't have to stop. And just point to the M16 of the saw. This says I don't have to stop for you. Okay? Mister. $9, good Vicky Vicky. I'm like, $9? You're wasting my time for $1 so I could save $1? I'm like, $2. And then you remember how it was, no. They look at you like, no, good.
You're on drugs.
No good, mister. You switch. You crazy in the head. Like, $2. No. I mean, because they like to bargain. That's like a hobby. If you've never been to the Middle East, and if you've never bought anything off the streets of Iraq or Afghanistan or Kuwait or Egypt or Qatar,
Korea is the same way.
Yeah, dudes, that culture, you bargain. It's almost an insult. If they tell you $10 for something, you give them $10, I think they kind of get pissed off. It's like, because if they say 10 and you say 1, the closer they seal that deal to 10, I feel as if they're like a sense of accomplishment. Kind of like when a loser gets somebody fired because of Twitter. It's like sense of accomplishment, Okay, here's the line in the sand. Who's going to get closer, without stepping over? That's kind of, I think, what like bargaining is in like the Middle East and, most likely, Korea as well. And so
yeah, the label price is just the starting point.
Yeah, that's just up for whatever. That's why, you know what? I want to go to this is where stereotypes play in, but I'm not racist, people. I'm going to go into a brand spanking newly opened convenience store that's owned by a Arab gentleman. I'm just going to start bargaining. Like, this dude's fresh off the boat. He doesn't know any better. He doesn't know that these price tags in America are set in stone, or you go to jail. I'm just going to get a pack of, like, sugar wafers. Like, it says $1. I'll give you 50 cents. 50? Come on, 50? No, mister, 70. Okay, fine. We got a deal at 80 cents. I'm walking. Dude, I'm going to tell everybody this store is the worst freaking store in the world. Don't ever go to that store because I want to be the only one going in there. Maybe that'd be a bad thing, though. He'll have no business. All of a sudden, I'll go in there. Wait, $250 for wafers? What are you talking about? Hey, man, got to pay the rent.
Well, you want a good one here? This is a great way to save $1. You'll see stores, and they will have a sign that says, 99 cents, but they'll go 0.99 in the cent sign, or, the cent sign 0.99. They're asking for less than a penny. Yeah. So when they have that sign up, fucking hit them on it. Be like, okay, here's your penny. It's $1. That sign says, 9 cents of a penny, so keep the change.
Yeah, I have to do that. I have to check that. Hopefully I find a car with the sign like that. But yeah, this little bastard, this little kid, I ended up buying the Vicky Vicky DVD. Okay, he said it was good Vicky Vicky. I said $5. I wanted $5. I'm like, I'll give you $5 for the Vicky Vicky, and then that he had something else in his hand because then he's like, I'll give this to you, and I'll give you the Vicky Vicky for like $8. I'm like, no, $5 for both. We agreed on $5 for just the Vicky Vicky, the porn DVD. So he feels like he got me. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, I got this kid. We go back, and like I said, the gayest stuff you'll ever see in the world is a bunch of straight dudes in the military. Get together. It's like, oh man, hey guys, I got Vicky Vicky. And like, oh dude, you got porn? Hell yeah, man! Rush in the tent, grab somebody's. Not everybody had a laptop. Only like 3 people had a laptop. Pop that in. It's a Disney movie, Pocahontas.
Yeah. Hey, that's showing a lot of skin to them. That is porn.
Man, I got had. And then I see another buddy of mine, like a week later, he just came back from a mission. He goes, man, I got some Vicky Vicky. I'm like, yeah, what kind of Disney movie it's going to be? Man, we put it on. It was a French porn, and the guy was wearing a Bill Clinton mask, and the girl was wearing a Monica Lewinsky mask. I'm like, what? How much did you get this for? It's like $3. I'm like, what? $3? And this
you got screwed all over.
Man, and that stuff was good. I'm like, yo, can I borrow that? He's like, no, man, you can't. No, you can't borrow that. I'm like, dude, I got ripped off trying to buy a DVD last week. Listen, man, I'm pent up. You know, I'm stressed. Let's just say I'm stressed out. And he's like, no, man, you got to get your own. I'm like,
well, I showed up. I had a 100 gig hard drive packed because I went around to everybody and just pilfered it what little bit everybody had.
There was a guy, I knew a guy like you. Yeah,
I had the 100 gig hard drive freaking of nothing but, so that was awesome. But we since I'm in a squad of 16 guys. Well, there was one chick, but 16 guys all together. We built ourselves a spag tank. It was 3 plywood walls and a curtain. Had a little magazine rack all set up, and just a stack of ready to go material, and it was just the old, hidden tank. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, it was that was interesting times back then. 03 and 04. I went back to Iraq again in 2007 and 2008. I was like, oh man, this is commercialized. Now.
Yeah, I went back in 06, and it was, or the end of 05. The end of 05 is when we showed up in country. So.
Yeah, it was all sorts of commercialized. I'm like, oh look, there's a green bean coffee. Like, okay, instead of bargaining with a miner for porn, now I'm going and buying a frappuccino. For whatever reason, that place was Starbucks, but they had the same colors and everything. They just couldn't use the name. It was like Green Bean World Cafe.
Yeah, green bean coffee with, oh god, it was all made with that shelf-stable milk.
Oh yeah. See, there was finally a place. I was in Baghdad, and they had real milk, and you could tell the difference. You could tell when they use real milk as opposed to that shelf stable. Listen, when you have a crate of milk that could sit out in the desert heat for a month, and then you go in and making coffee with that stuff, listen, you're not gonna get a good frothy head on your cappuccino with that stuff. It's not gonna make you happy when it comes to convoy time. But yeah, it was.
It would clear your system out real quick, though.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, dude. If you're on a mission, then like, man, I've been eating MREs for the last 3 days, 4 days. I got a doctor. I need some. Go to the Green Bean. Okay.
Yeah, go get a cup of coffee. You'll be fine.
Get a triple espresso with milk. You could do that on a day when they miss their the delivery shipment. And it's like, yep, these guys are using the fake milk again. And yeah, man, it's like shooting off an AT-4, just yelling back blast area all clear. But,
well, in 03, we had a couple locals that they let on base that set up these little makeshift restaurants.
Okay.
So they were making calzones, and they're attempted a pizza and some, indigenous food. But oh god, yeah, if you were back up, like, all right, let's go get a calzone, because by the time you finish that thing, about 30 minutes later, your stomach's just.
Where were you at in 03?
I was at a place called Key West. It was
okay. Yep.
Just south of just south of Mosul.
Yep, I know where that is. Yeah. Where was when I was there in 07, 08, I was in Stryker, not Spiker and Tikrit, but Stryker outside of by the airport.
Yeah.
And there was a place in between Spiker and not Spiker, Stryker, in between Stryker and the airport. What was it called? That's Biop. Yeah. It was this Iraqi restaurant, and they would serve lamb and chicken and flatbread and stuff. We had a mission. We had to go and pick something up at the airport. And on our way back, I'm like, dude, let's get some real food. Let's get some of this lunch. I heard this restaurant's really good. And like, it's all Iraqi food. I'm like, no, but I heard it's really good. I'm like, okay. So I got this lamb kebab and with the flatbread and like the olives and a couple other a couple other things like onions and stuff. Dude, half hour later, we're driving in the truck, and my buddy looks at me and goes, "You're green." I'm like, "What?" He goes, your skin, you look green." And I'm like, "No, I'm not feeling good. I'm sweating a little bit." We're in what was I in back at that time? I think it was MRAP. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we've just been driving too much. Let me get out when we get there. We got there, got out, and he goes, "Now you're gray." And I'm like, I didn't believe. I'm like, "Come on, you just mess with me." He's like, "And you're sweaty." I'm like, "Dude, it's the summertime. We're in Iraq.
We're all sweaty.
We're all sweaty." He goes, "No, man." He goes, your sweat looks weird. Your sweat looks way different, man. He goes, "You got like a slimy sweat thing going on." I'm like, "Well, I don't feel good." Like, and my stomach like as soon as I said I don't feel good, just started rumbling. It sounded like Zeus up in Mount Olympus. There was just this thunderous striking going on. I'm like, I think I got to use the bathroom now. And there was a porta john probably about 50, 60 feet away. I'm like, "Here, man," and I hand him my weapon. Don't do anything with it. He goes, "Oh man, you don't look good. I got you." And I had an ANCD in my hand, and I gave it to him as well. I'm like, "Here, you keep that too." And I started to shed my stuff on the way. Like, I ripped off my vest, I ripped off my top, like I had the plates and stuff like that, and just ripping stuff off, ripping my gloves off. And he's like, "I'll get the rest of your stuff." He was my gunner, so he's picking up my stuff, and it was only like a 50-foot, 60-foot walk. I'm just ripping stuff off. And I get in there, soon as I wasn't even able to sit down. I got to the squatting position, and on the count of 3, 2, 1, blast off both ends. I look like what's that chick's name from The Exorcist? Heather. Was it Heather Blair?
Not a clue, but I know what you're talking about.
That's what I look like. I mean, I had projectile everything coming out of me. It was the most, dude. It was instant death. I'm like, this was within an hour, a half hour tops, 40 minutes, and it was bad. And you could just hear. I mean, you could hear it coming out the back end. Then you hear puke, and you just hear liquid splattering. And my buddy's like, "What are you doing in there? Are you facing the right way?" He goes, "What are you doing?" And he's laughing. I'm like, "Ugh," it's just hitting. And he's like, "Yo, man, there's something leaking out of the door." And he's like, "Oh, that's disgusting. What's wrong with you? What are you doing in there?" I'm like, and I just yell in a gasp as I'm trying to catch my brother, but, "Oh my God, projectile. He's coming out of both ends." And he started laughing. He goes, "All right, I'll let the LT know you're gonna be a while." So yeah, that was not good, and that was the last time I ate on the economy there.
I did good eating at the economy. The only time we got real sick in Iraq was when our chow hall people tried to kill us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, we had KV&R. At first, we were just pure MREs, and then the chow hall people set up their little
Mermite
rack
stuff.
thing. Yeah, the Mermites and the T-Rats and whatnot. And then KV&R finally showed up towards the end. Well, for whatever reason, KV&R went down for a little bit, so they set up the Mermites again. Well, that food had been sitting out for like 6 months, just in the sun, just soaking and just sitting out there. And they served it to us. And that night, they wiped out the whole fucking unit. I mean, everybody was just, there was a line for the porter shitters, and you would use it, and then just get right back in line, because by the time you made it up to the front again, you were ready to go. I mean, wiped out the whole unit.
Oh yeah, that was. I remember one time in 2003, I got sick off of something. I don't know if it was food or the medication, because at the time it was doing the malaria pills. And,
those things are awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'd be good if they came in a liquid form, I tell you. But something, I don't know what it was. Again, I don't know if it was a certain pill we were taking or food or water or something, but I woke up It was in the evening. I don't know, it had to be 10, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I had a mission early in the morning, so I racked down, got some rest. I woke up, I'm like, oh my God. And I just had a pair of, I had PT shorts on with the lining. And I think, oh, okay, I know what I put on my feet. I had a pair of sandal shoes, pair of flip-flops, shower shoes. I threw those on, and I ran out of the tent, and sitting there is a sergeant major and E8, and I think it was a captain, and they're like, why don't you got a shirt on? I'm like, what? I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom bad. I just take off, and I stop, and it happened mid-stride.
Oh.
And I turned back around, and I walked over. I'm like, does anybody have a knife? And and my buddy, he was a master sergeant. We had transferred from the same unit together. He had something over his shoulder. It was a towel or a T-shirt or something. I'm like, I'm gonna need that. And he's like, go in your tent. I'm like, I can't. I need that right now. He goes, what do you mean you need that right now? I'm like, I need that right now. And I look down, and he goes, oh, what, did you step in poop? And I look down, I'm like, no. He goes, your foot's covered in poop. I'm like, I know, that's why I need that now. He goes, go rinse your foot off. I'm like, no, that's mine. And he's like, what? I'm like, I stepped in my own. And he goes, oh. And he goes, here, just give me your Leatherman back. And he gave me his Leatherman and whatever he had, whether it was a T-shirt or a towel or something. And I went, I cut off my PT shorts, and I wiped off the best I could. And there was a burn pit right there. I just threw the shorts in the burn pit, and whatever he gave me, I cut and I wiped off the best I could, and I put the rest over me, kind of like a loincloth. And I walked back up to him. I'm like, hey, thanks. Could you do me a favor now? And could you get me a cup? Because we didn't have showers yet. I'm like,
yeah.
Can you get me a cup, and can you get me this out of my box? It's just the whatever, the Foot Lockers. And I'm like, can you get this and get that out of my Foot Locker? He's like, yeah. He goes, I wouldn't do this for anybody else. I'm a specialist at the time. And he goes, I wouldn't do this for anybody else. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. And he goes in the tent, and he comes back, and he goes, here you go, man. I'm like, I didn't want to wake anybody else up. I didn't want to drag anything into the tent. He goes, not a problem, man. I'm like, can you not tell anybody? Dude, secret safe with me, man. And I look, Now the captain that was sitting there was a minister on, the civilian side. So I'm like, sir, this dude swore to God. And then the sergeant major was a Vietnam vet. He's like, I don't give a shit. He just didn't care about anything. Just, whatever. I'm just waiting to die. And the next morning, wake up, and I had a new nickname. So those freaking bastards told everybody that was within earshot. I woke up and go to shave. I'm outside shaving, brushing my teeth. And brushing my teeth, and my buddy looks at me and goes, Did you brush your teeth good? I'm like, what? What's your problem? I'm brushing my teeth. He's like, you get everything clean? I'm like, yeah, man, it's just brushing your teeth. He goes, you didn't shit in there now, did you? I'm like, man, what? And I looked at him. I played it off. I'm like, you can't do that. And somebody else goes, hey, man, did you step in something? I looked down. He goes, oh, no, that was last night, wasn't it? And so, yeah. Yeah, the funny guy. Funny guys.
Yeah, I think everybody shit themselves at least once in Iraq.
Yeah, and it was just it was sick. It was just like, when you got sick in the desert, and it was 100, 15, 120, 130 degrees, and chances are pretty much everybody was running dehydrated, for a good chunk of the day. When you got sick, it was just the worst feeling in the world. I don't wish it on I don't wish that on anybody. Especially like an enemy. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
That's brutal. I had the same kind of thing, but I was just we're all gathered up. Commander calls formation. We just start walking, and just out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, I'm not making this formation. I literally looked at me like, the fuck you're not? I'm like, nope, I'm going out, and then I need to take care of some business.
Man,
He's like, what are you talking about? He looks over, he's like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I had we're in a convoy once, hauling KBR from Balad up to Crit, and my buddy, I'm a gunner, and this is back when we had like hillbilly armor and stuff like that. It was 03, so there's nothing strapped down or really bolted down to much of anything, and I got the radio. We're cruising along. My buddy's like, "Here, hold this. I'll be right back." I'm like, "What? Be right back? Where you going?" Well, our Humvee that we were in had, remember the turtlebacks?
Yeah.
We had one of those on just whatever this particular vehicle, whatever its reasoning was, we had one of those on. And he just flings open the back hatch, and he goes, "Nobody look." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I got to go now." Because we had told him before, he had gone before in the truck while we were driving in an MRE box. And we told him, "Man, don't ever do that again. There's no windows here, but don't ever do that again." That was just brutal, man. It's like for a spot like this that's well ventilated, it just lingered. I mean, and lingered. So it's like, don't do that anymore, and we'll be good. So he's like, okay. So like 2 weeks later, this dude pops open the hatch. I'm like, "What are you doing?" "You told me not to go in the box." And I hear on the radio, "What the hell is that?" That was my buddy in the truck behind us. He's radioing in. He's like, "What is that?" You couldn't see all of them because the way the hatch was, it had the hydraulic arm for the door, or the the lift. So it lifted like 3/4 of the way, and it got caught on something. So he's like, "Perfect privacy," and all they could see was like the bottom of his ass hanging out, and all of a sudden on the radio here, "Oh my God, you sick son of a bitches, we're gonna open fire on you." The truck got hit. We're doing about 55, 60, whatever the old 998s could do, full blast, 55, 60 miles an hour, and the truck behind us, their windshield got peppered, and the TC screaming. He's like, "Oh, it's all over the windshield." You hear in the back, "It's all over my goggles." Well, the poor gunner took a brunt of the blast, and he's like, "It's all over my goggles. What is that?" He didn't know what had hit him, and you heard him go, "What was that?" And my buddy goes, "It's so and so. He crapped out of the vehicle in front." And my buddy goes, "What? I'm gonna shoot him." And dude, if you could hear the panic in the TC's voice, he had to talk him down from opening fire on our vehicle. And I thought it was funny. I'm like, "Dude, this guy shoots. I'm firing back. I don't care, man. You started this. You crapped all over him, but I'm gonna have to." I told the guy that did the deed. I'm like, "We're gonna have to shoot each other because you crapped. See, this is why you can't go in the truck anymore. See, because it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Your number 2 is bad. You can't do this anymore." And he's just like, "Okay, whatever." And he had to apologize. Dude, the gunner wanted to kill him. Literally wanted to kill him. And we had to talk him down. Like, "Dude, just don't. What do you want? Anything you want. We'll get you whatever you want. We'll all make this up to you." And he was just like, I just want to punch him in the face now. Like, we can't let you do that. You're a lot bigger than him. You might kill him with all the anger you have inside you.
The face would have been deserved.
No, trust me. With the anger in him and the size of his arms compared to this dude's face, he probably would have died. You hear about those guys that get punched in the face and they die from it. Like, this would have been one of those instances where it was like, that poor he's going to get killed. He's going to get murdered. You can't let him do that. So we had to talk him down. And he walks up and he goes, hey, man, sorry about what I did to you. I didn't mean it. Bygones be bygones. And he's like, and the dude's like, yeah, dude, whatever. And shook his hand. And the dude walked away. And as he walked away, he goes, I didn't even wipe my ass or wash my hands. And he just walked away. And the dude flipped again. The gunner flipped. He's, I'm going to fucking kill him. I'm going to kill him. So he just dropped a bomb and hiked his pants back up. So
my buddy Brian, one of my best friends in the Army, whenever we did the long convoys, we always carried just an empty bobtail. We just had just the empty bobtail, so if the truck broke down, we could just hook up the trailer and go. And we're like 4 or 5 hours into this convoy, and he keeps coming over the radio. Hey, can we stop? Can we stop? We really need to stop. And we're driving, dude. We're not stopping. We're going. Next thing we know, we see this passenger door come flinging open, and he's scaling the side of the bobtail, and he's sitting on the back of the bobtail. You know, there's that little metal box right back there, the little graded area. And he just, MRE box popped it down. He's sitting there, and he's just popping a squat, fucking going 60 miles an hour down the freeway. And he just popped a squat right there. I'm driving behind him, staring at him, he's waving. How you doing?
Nice. That's one thing. If people ask, what do you miss about war? It's that stuff.
Oh, yeah. All the dumb shit. Oh, God, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. That was great.
Nice. Such is life. Such is life. But, hey, man, we're gonna wrap things up here. Why don't you give a quick plug for the Chairborne crew?
That's right. Chairbornecommandos.com. That is chairbornecommandos.com. You can catch me on there every now and again. Quinn and JT host a show every week. It'll post to iTunes on Mondays. Check out the website. We've got all kinds of gear and stickers and shirts and whatnot so you can get your swag on. But it's military news, talk and information. We discuss all the important facts of the Army, beer, whiskey, and cigars. So come on in, check it out.
Nice. And I think I'm going to have a cigar aficionado on this show here in like a week or two. But before we go, I want to say, Grease Bastard, thanks for being on. And listen, everybody, not in the near future. I got a month left of this active gig, and then my life is going to be crazy. So in the near future, in a few weeks, the shows might be spotty. Like, I might have a show next week, might not have a show the following week, might not have one after that, might have one the week after that, because I'm transitioning from active Army, moving back to my home state, and enrolling in college. And so I'm going to be pretty damn busy between now and the start of school. And then when school starts, then I'm still going to be busy. So, yeah, at least I'll be on terminal leave for 67 days. So that's going to be fun.
Well, we need to get everybody together and head out to my cabin in the woods and make for a good fucking little weekend.
Yeah, I trust me. One of these days, I like to get out there. I have to do a lot of stuff out west. So, and partying in a cabin full of middle-aged veterans that pretend to be good radio hosts sounds very appealing for some strange reason. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm chalking myself up in that group too. I'm not any better. So.
Well, you know, I think like we talked about before, we'll set that world record for, you know, continuous podcast.
Yeah, longest continuous podcast. I think that's our goal, and I forgot what it was. I think it's 72 hours or something like that.
I thought it was only like 23. I thought it was like 23 hours for a continuous podcast.
I saw one where it was basically a podcast before it was called podcasts, and I think it was 72 hours. So, or something like that. I have to look again, but I think we're gonna try to break that record. So, but hey, man, listen, every Wednesday that I'm around in the foreseeable future, listen to Tactical 16 Radio with Silent J, 7 to 9 p.m. On the west coast of Pennsylvania, soon to be the west coast of New York. And then Sunday nights, Center Mass with Rob and Silent J. That's on 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And tell you what, Rob, Grease Bastard, last Sunday's show, we've got our highest numbers ever. So, and then with those really high numbers, I get people calling me a crazy psycho, right-winger, racist, homophobic, crazy teabagger. So, and the funny thing is, I'm none of those. I'm fairly libertarian, moderate, and I could really care less about anybody. I've dated black chicks and I've high-fived gay dudes. So I'm sorry to that troll.
It's kind of hard to call you gay when you love the dick. So
hey, yeah, I know, man. Cake's good for you, but that's the thing. It's like, man,
you were drooling over that cake.
Yeah. If you that's the thing. If you're gonna talk smack about somebody on the internet, do a little bit of research about said person on the internet. I'm sure you'll find a lot of stuff, okay? And you'll find some facts. Listen, I'll give you something to make fun of me about. I pissed the bed up until my teen years. Why not? I drank. No, I used to pee. I was a chronic bedwetter when I was a little kid. Yeah. How about that? Or how about the fact I got a crooked tooth? You know, that's.
Or you're a chronic masturbator.
That goes without saying. And with that, man, Grease Bastard, thanks for being on, dude.
All right, thanks, buddy. I'll catch you later. And everybody go to chairborncommandos.com. That is chairborncommandos.com.
Oh, yeah, guys. Thanks, and tell all those guys I said what's up.
All right, yeah, we got to hook something up one of these days.
Hell yeah, man. I'll talk to you later, though, man.
All right, buddy.
All right. That was Grease Bastard. He's a friend of the shows for Vets On, Center Mass, and Tactical 16, and he does some cool shit with those guys over at Chairborne. So check those dudes out. You know, help another internet-based radio / podcast group of veterans. You know, gain a big audience. So help those guys out. Much love for those dudes over there. The show's good, not as good as me. Not my show, just me as a person in general. But anyway, I am Silent J. This is Tactical 16 Radio with Silent J. And next week, we're going to have Eric Shaw from Tactical 16. We're going to have some big news coming your way from one said Eric Shaw. So check out tactical16.com for all your veteran reading pleasures. Just like now, you heard a couple of veterans just talking, being adults. You know, yeah, we swore, we said some poopy jokes, stuff like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, couple overseas vets getting together, sharing some stories with a couple microphones in front of them. That's what happens. You know, that's what happens in war. Sometimes you poop yourself. Whether it be intentional or unintentional. Sometimes it happens, okay? And sometimes you could bring those stories back with and tell the stories to the masses so they could be like, okay, it's not all flag waving, chest beating, Rambo stuff over there. Sometimes you guys poop yourself. So yeah, that's what happens. But anyway, I'm Silent J. This is Tactical 16 Radio for Tactical 16 and for VetsOnMedia.com. I'll see you soon. And Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Pacific. Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Center Mass with Rob and Silent J. And I will be on an episode of JD's Rockin' Sports in probably a few weeks here. We're going to talk about the AFC East. And JD's a Patriots fan, and I'm a Bills fan. So that automatically means he feels he's better than me, and I just want to punch him in his smug face. So check out JD's Rockin' Sports, though, every Saturday, and also on Tuesday for the time being. Check out his co-host's own show called That Show on Thursdays. And the Radio Daddies, Adam and James, with that's on 9 p.m. I'm sorry, it's on 9 a.m. Wednesday mornings. All right, but go to the website and check out the show listings for all the shows and support a vet. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Tactical 16 Radio on Twitter. And then personally, if you want to follow my personal one, it's I'm Silent J. All right, there's the business one and then that one. So if you don't like bad words, don't go to my personal one. Go to the Tactical 16 Radio one on Twitter. All right, but I will see you guys soon, and take care, and thanks for being on. All right, bye kitties. You know.
For my family, for my friends, for those that we've lost our sight. This is a message, this is for you. Never forget the Lower East Side Club. For my family, for my friends, for those that we lost our sight. This is a message, this is for you. Never forget the Lower East Side Club. I remember all the times we spent.